wait until it's red there. Just okay.
Wow, this is crazy. I never thought I would be here, this moment in time. Sorry, I'm Mercedes, Mauro's best friend, or his roommate. From the day I met Mauro, I just knew he was different. And to think he'd come up here and speak about procrastination is amazing, I tell you. Mauro is a true master. No. He's a mega procrastinator. I tell you now, Mauro is on a different level. As I was writing this speech, I realized that Mauro was using his Rubik's Cube in one hand. Isn't that crazy? When he calls his mom and dad, he's using it. When he's meant to be doing something else, guess, he's using it. With all seriousness, I feel as if this speech right here is perfect for Mauro. He's the one person I would depend upon to do this speech. And now, welcome the master procrastinator, or the mega procrastinator, as I'll say, Mauro.
Thank you, Lucette, for that great intro. Apparently, I'm a master procrastinator, and, well, I know that, but I want to fix that. And to fix that, I have to learn how to fix it. And I have to learn first what procrastination actually is, how it works, and what habits of mine make me procrastinate. So I did some research and found out the real meaning of procrastination. Procrastination, according to the dictionary, is the action of delaying or postponing something. So basically, that famous easy phrase of, I'll do it tomorrow, or the due date is so far away, so why should I do it now? Things like that, and then end up doing this. That's Lucette, by the way, the one who called me a mega procrastinator just a few seconds ago. So, in other words, there are two main things in our brain. There is the smart guy. He's not really the smart guy, but he's the hardworking and well-organized person. He's in our brain, and he's the one that makes us actually do our projects. But then there is the lazy guy. But he's not really lazy. He's just likes doing the fun stuff first and then doing the hard stuff, doing the work. But by the time that he gets to doing the hard work, he's too lazy to do that. So in procrastinator's brain, it is usually the lazy guy who dictates what to be and what should be done each moment. So let's just give an example. I've just made up this example. It's definitely not true. Imagine your English teacher says it's the beginning of the term, and she says a creative project which is due the end of the term. So you start doing your smart guy kicks in, and you start doing some planning. You think you're going to do a trailer that you have a lot of special effects in it, and it's going to look very good. And your best friend is going to be the main character. But then, obviously, you remember that it's due in 3 months. And that's where the lazy guy kicks in. The lazy guy says, well, stop. Why should I start doing a project which is due in 3 months? He just doesn't understand how. However, he does want to be organized and decides that he'll do a very, very detailed plan. So you think that in the first month, you'll do a third of the work. On the second month, you'll do another third, and the third month, another third. This way, you're doing little and often during the whole of the term, and it's going to be good. However, you know you're a procrastinator. So you know this plan you're not going to follow this plan exactly perfectly. So yeah, the half term comes and you say, you'll do it tomorrow. But then the second month goes by and you haven't really started yet, but you still got 1 month to do it, and you'll do it tomorrow. So the last week of term arrives and your plan looks a bit like this. Not a nice sight for me or for whoever was doing this project. So yeah, you've got 1 week to do a whole creative project, but it's fine. You've got time. You somehow take 3 days to do the script, because obviously there was some procrastination involved in there. Then after those 3 days, you start doing all the filming with your best friend. But obviously you do take 3 days because your friend is a bit busy that week. So you get to the morning of presenting the project, the last day of the term, and you've got your script, you've got your filming, but you haven't got a trailer yet. So you spend all that morning doing the editing, and somehow you manage to get it done and present, and you're ready to present it that day. So now let's go back to the very beginning of this talk, before I even started talking. When someone decided to come here to this stage and call me a mega procrastinator. Well, I wasn't the one that had to do all the editing for a creative project the same morning that had to be presented. So in our brain, we see a new thing. And that new thing in this example is the only thing that will make us, or the lazy person, just wake up and actually do his work and stop being lazy, or stop doing the fun stuff first and start actually doing the hard things. And that is the due date monster. As you may have guessed, the due date monster only wakes up when a due date is soon to arrive, or when a teacher comes threatening with a demerit. But I mean, thanks to it, you can do your project in time with a lot of stress and by the end, but you get it done. But if there's no due date, your monster will never wake up. So what if there is no due date? What if it's just a dream? What if it's or a goal of yours? You want to get the Duke of Edinburgh award, but if you never stop procrastinating, you'll never do it, because it's your decision and no one pushes you into doing it. So there's no deadline. That means that if you never stop procrastinating, you'll never reach your goals. So the big question is, how can we stop procrastinating? How can we wake the due date monster up early, before the due date is soon to arrive, before the teacher comes threatening with a demerit? How can we stop procrastinating? So first of all, this doesn't work. You need a more specific plan, a daily plan or a weekly plan, something that will make you do your project, something a bit more specific like that. Break down your big project into smaller projects and set a deadline for each of them. Then have a checklist to know the progress that you've done for each one. Then, second, get rid of your distractions. So as Lissetti said in the introduction, my distractions are Rubik's Cubes. But I also like watching YouTube when I'm bored, or I feel like I'll do my work tomorrow. So I know this is not many people's distractions, but a study has shown that the highest percentage of procrastination is caused by people using their phones. And this is not your phone's fault. This is the notifications fault. This is because if you're studying and you're like very concentrated in your work and you're really focused into what you're doing, but then suddenly a notification pops up, and well, raise your hands if you would turn to look at the phone. I would too. Now keep your hands up if you would pick up the phone to see what the notification actually is about. Probably would. And then finally, keep your hands up if you would actually waste a few minutes of your study time because of that one notification. Yeah, and the thing is, that one notification, even if you just wait a few minutes, that is going to ruin all your concentration and all your focus. So the best thing is to either not have your phone next to you while you're studying, or just turn off notifications, and then you won't get distracted ever again. My third tip is to prioritize. Do the first things first, or the hard things first. Put instead a list of the things that you should do, and then put the harder things first, and the more time-consuming and more important things first, and then put the least important or the short and easier things last. That way, if you start doing the hard things first, if you start doing a whole creative project, which I don't recommend doing it in one evening, but if you do, then when you get to doing the actual, well, just a worksheet on cells, it will just seem like nothing, so you won't get that lazy to do it. And my fourth tip is to take breaks. And this is starting to sound a bit like a learning to learn lesson, but if you take breaks, you will increase your concentration and focus, and you probably won't, you probably stop procrastinating. So they can't be very, like, you have to have them quite often, but they shouldn't be too long. So 5 to 10 minute breaks, just go have a walk around your house, or just have a snack or drink, scream into your pillow if you need, and then sit back and refocus on what you were doing. A study from Oregon State University shows that if you take breaks during your study time, you will increase your concentration and your focus, and also how well you do in school. So now, a bit of a personal example of procrastination. So 4 months ago, I told Mr. Edmonds that I would like to do a Red Talk. And I was very excited about that because I wanted to do a Red Talk, and I was a bit nervous about that, but it's fun because, I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I had 4 months to decide that. So I created a plan of what I was going to do. A very detailed plan, a fantastic plan. Month 1, I would think of the topic. Month 2, I would create a script. Month 3, create a PowerPoint, and month 4, practice. Well, after a bit of procrastination, we get to the 4th month, and I kind of started. I was almost sure about what I was going to talk about, but not 100%. So, although you may argue that a whole month for doing a Red Talk is enough, which it might be, but still, how many of you have procrastinated for 3 months straight? So yeah, don't follow my path. Don't follow Lucetti's path of doing a whole creative project in 1 week. Just follow my tips, which I know are very useful, and you will stop procrastinating. Maybe one day you'll get your Duke of Edinburgh award. Who knows?
Thank you, Mauro, for calling me out on a lot of things. I'm a bit glad Ms. Bimudu's not here. But I do agree with Mauro's idea that when we procrastinate, we don't get things done. So let's try not to procrastinate, and let's not use our phones. Well, you can use them, but don't. Thank you.
Right, amazing. Thank you so much, Mara. I think, firstly, I'm just so amazed and so proud to have one of our Year 9s up here. Hopefully that inspires more of us to do the same. Love the idea of so many of you filling in this Red Talk form that got emailed to you today and getting stuck into the next Red Talk. It's such a great step. And so well done. Thank you, Lucetti, as well, for your intro and closing. We're going to perfectly timed, we can head across to period 1. Can the middle, because it's got 6th form, can the middle go? And you guys just stay for now.